Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Yes, that's what we're playing. Oh, it's been a nightmare, it's been a nightmare, it's been a nightmare. I have to tell you, it is now probably about 4 days since I recorded the first episode. I've been sick for that entire time. You probably can even hear it in my voice right now. It's, I've been very, very sick with the cold. So I'm trying to get back into recording since I've done nothing for that entire time. I'm trying to play this game. Unfortunately, just leaving the game paused after I did that cannon fight didn't work because the audio messed up, which is not something I can really hold against the game because games, frankly, aren't designed to be left run paused and minimized on a computer for days and days, and it's a pretty consistent problem with every game I've ever played that you can't just always guarantee that it will work when you get back to it. That being said, so I had to exit, and then that means I had to come back and I had to play the canon quest yet again. So after recording the first episode, I did the canon section, and wouldn't you know it, the exact next time I succeeded. Then I got sick for 4 days, and then I've had to play it no less than 7 extra times to get to this point. It turns out that there is a much heavier weighting of the cannons that are facing front of the castle area. So you should, by default, focus your shots in between cannons, trying to get ideally 3 cannons destroyed in each shot without missing once, starting with the front ones, and then if you have extra time, go to the left ones after you've done the majority of ones on the cannons, and only cannons on the left side. You'll then start the cutscene for the right side, assuming you haven't already lost then you immediately need to prioritize the ones that are far to the left facing the castle, and then you probably won't at that point even be able to hit the ones that are almost impossible to even see on the right. And I'm just telling you all of this because I can't really show it to you. So since you can't hit the cannons on the right, then there's this giant tower machine rolling towards yourself, and since you're not really able to do anything else, just shooting that gets it. And boy, does it only just by a hair succeed when you can succeed, and when you fail, you almost always have 50 more villagers that need to escape. All of that setup being done, let's continue and play this game. And what's really funny is you couldn't have skipped it, and this is way too difficult of a thing at the beginning of the game. We're still in the tutorial section.
Save them! Wait! Soldiers are climbing the walls! Signor! Forget the cannons! We must stop them! Go! I will carry on here!
Now, I imagine that this whole section is not going to even be a problem. Even though I have like my health halfway down, this is just the old Assassin's Creed system mostly, doing some dances and parrying, or at least attempting to. Now you can see I'm not regaining health or anything, so... Oh, what a glitch. Boy, I just jumped all over the screen there. Oh, wow. This game is glitching up like crazy. One more hit and I desynchronize. So I'm using the right trigger to try and counter these attacks. So anytime they are anywhere near me, press A to kick somebody, and then I can stab them. Here's another guy, and he's detecting me. And he wasn't even in the right sequence. He should have been in attack mode by default. There goes Uncle Mario. There's
I know you're there, Ezio! The Pope told me about you and your little group of assassins. And this! Give me the gun his friend fashioned for us! We've had too much bloodshed. I think the cleansing is in order. So consider this an invitation from my family to yours.
He was shot. And Mario was probably shot. And see, this was all supposed to happen. You were supposed to lose. And
I can walk.
Look out! They are coming! Everyone, retreat to the villa!
I cannot fight like this. Stand with me!
Get him!
so fight your way back to the villa. With 1 health, there's nothing I can really do right now. So these guys are going to fight with me, these mercenaries slash thieves.
You just try.
And so what they're introducing here is something that we've had, I think, even in the first game, although I'm not sure. Save Claudia by killing this one specific guy.
Get inside the sanctuary!
While executing an enemy, hold the left stick to target your next enemy and press X to execute him in a second single attack, whatever. So what Brotherhood starts us down is a path of progression that we have seen previously, but the first game was kind of a major change from the second game, and this game is. Now I don't know if that was his mother or just a lady. Press right trigger, the right bump to select your weapons wheel. And see, we've got a bunch of things. Oh look, and I do have health here. So I could have taken that at any point. Interesting. But more kills, quicker kills is helping, certainly.
I will hold them back. Stop! Wait for us!
We thought you had been killed, Sir Ezio.
Not yet.
Where does this passage lead?
To the north, outside the walls.
I am surprised it exists. Let me through. I must go help the troops.
And so he locks the door.
Hurry, Ezio!
And we escape.
Where's Mother? Is she alright?
I am here, Ezio.
Grazie a Dio.
We could not leave without you.
The way out will be dangerous. Protect our mother.
And I guess it's just kind of the assumption that you have to leave this behind, or you'd want to leave that section behind.
Where is Mario? I thought he would be waiting for us.
The Borgia infantry are circling the town!
There's a courtesan
Mario
in
is
the
dead.
background.
You must leave this place. Take Mother to Firenze. Get me a horse.
You are not coming with us. Where are you riding?
To Roma.
Go, my son. Destroy them. But remember for whom we assassins fight.
So, obviously they needed to set us back down to the beginning. It would be a pretty boring game, or it would be a much more difficult challenge, at least for the video game makers, to not have us lose all the abilities we'd earned. There's certainly a lot of visual glitches going on wrong here. I'm disappointed in that. Cannot turn off these Uplay things. They're built into the game. There is a
Lucy, I can't seem to get a position
later
on
version
Ezio's
of
POE.
Uplay's overlay that
POE?
you can't
Could
turn
one of
these
you
off.
tell me what's going on?
These
Sorry,
are
Desmond,
first
Piece
versions.
of Eden. In the Vatican, Minerva talked about other temples, that they're the key to preventing whatever terrible thing is about to happen to the Earth.
Right.
So now they've got the Animus 2.0 version rigged in the back of this truck.
To find the temples, I'm convinced we need to get our hands on Ezio's Apple of Eden. Minerva altered it somehow when she touched it.
Wait, we're at the Auditore Villa.
Yes, it's our last safe house in Italy. It turns out the Templars are watching the border.
Ezio hid the POE sometime in 1507, but when I try to access that DNA sequence, he seems to be remembering something else.
Like a memory inside a memory?
Yes, exactly. Maybe.
Exactly, maybe.
I believe you experienced something similar back at Abstergo, didn't you?
Subject 15 exhibited memory within memory-like patterns, but she was pregnant. The memories of both the fetus's father and mother were competing.
Desmond's not pregnant, at least as far as I can tell. Might just have had a big lunch.
Can you skip ahead to a later memory?
No, it doesn't work.
Well, that sounds familiar. We couldn't access Altair's later memories until Desmond had improved his synchronization.
Then it's possible something similar's occurred here. Ezio's troubled state is being transposed onto Desmond, destabilizing the memory. Either that, or Rebecca's just not a very good engineer.
Thanks, asshole.
What? I'm simply listing possible explanations. And that is amongst the most likely. Touchy?
This place isn't secure. Cell phone surveillance can see right through the walls.
Don't you mean satellite surveillance?
Are you kidding? Abstergo upgraded to cell towers ages ago. The waves go through everything above ground. They're gonna find us.
No, they aren't. Come with me.
So, you give very little as far as what is the world in the Assassin's Creed series like in the modern day. You see some interesting outfits on the hacker girl, but the other people
There's a
seem
beam
to wear
blocking
just
it from the
normal
inside.
clothes.
We're not getting in this way.
What's our next move?
This
The road
villa
just loops back into the highway. This is not a good place
looks
for
like
us
it
to be
hasn't
right
been
now.
touched
Do we
since
have
it
any
was
tarps?
last
We need to
attacked.
cover up the van.
I really hate to stress this, yeah, but we are running out of time.
Well, help us then, Sean. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. Maybe there's another way into the sanctuary.
Hey, I think I've got something.
Now, remember, I should be able to just do this at any point, because of the bleeding effect, I learned that skill, as well as pretty much all our other skills, although this bleeding effect memory that's actually going to help
Follow me.
people is interesting. So this is the first time Desmond's ever done one of these in real life. And they
Desmond,
just climbed.
That was pretty awesome.
It just felt natural. We can get in through here.
Good job.
We'll just wait up here then, shall we? Yeah, all alone with massive targets painted on our backs.
I think I might have been a little too hasty turning down the multi-sampling.
Why won't this turn on?
It's great to be out of the Animus.
This isn't exactly my idea of a good time.
Am I walking
Let me
somewhere?
guess. You're more the in-bed-at 6 type.
What? Desmond? I know how to have fun.
Oh, that's very convincing. Yeah, I'm convinced.
Okay, after we save the world,
This looks
I'll
like
show
just a
you.
big black room.
Wait, can I get that in writing?
We have light.
Like, that literally was just a cutscene in a black room. How lazy. So I'm thinking that I probably could turn multi-sampling. Let's try down up to 4 and try that and just see if that massively increases the lag.
What was that?
I don't see anything.
I think it kind of does.
Run! Get out before I soldati catch you! Correte! Go!
Maybe I can turn it up to down to 2.
They escaped through here.
What?
Ezio and the villagers. After the attack, I can see them now.
I know it's difficult, but try to compartmentalize, Desmond. Focus on the present.
What if I can't stop the visions? How long before I start painting symbols on the walls?
Don't joke about that. 16 is dead. We're focusing on the present, okay?
And I don't know if they ever give these people any names. Push any button to activate these. These, I think, are new or were introduced in the last game.
Great, it's stuck.
I can get under there.
Ready?
You better roll. I wouldn't crawl.
Any chance you can lift that gate?
Not unless you want me to end up like that skeleton.
I'll find a way around.
So we're doing kind of no tutorial here, just some real-world action. You start to run into problems once you start to think about having a game set in the modern day. Though, yeah, that graphics, man, that multi-sampling. Either my video card or this engine cannot handle it. So we'll switch it down to 2.
Watch out for bats.
Where?
I meant in case you see any.
Remind me not to make you a lookout.
And see, it's still running clunky. Like, just turn it off, I guess. I guess I was right. And maybe that's not something other people are saying. But there's, well, I'm feeling some clunkiness in general right now. There might be more things I need to turn off.
Desmond?
More ghosts.
I'm here, okay? Stay with me.
And see that right trigger and then A, just dashing and then trying to swing the cameras in these tight areas. It's gonna take a subtle finger or thumb. So he's seeing memories in recursive order, by the way. We already saw everybody get out, so it's not like
Did anything fall on you?
like anything bad's gonna happen to the people in the past.
Desmond, we can't climb this.
How about you give me a boost?
That's a bad idea.
I could throw you into the air and you grab the ledge.
Even worse.
Follow me.
So I guess that's a jab at previous games where you would boost up somebody or throw them in the air.
What are you going to...
They're saying that their system of
I aim to please.
the quick elevators via rope is
I
better.
wonder how old these tunnels are.
And
Middle Ages, probably.
it's fast, I'll
Luckily,
give it
the
that.
beams
I
still
don't know
hold
if
their
it's
weight.
going to be the best
After all this time
system.
in the Animus, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but you're really getting fat.
Ouch.
I even told Rebecca to widen the Animus.
Seriously?
No.
So I imagine we'll find some of the little puzzle temples in the previous game will be done in the real world with Desmond. That's kind of a nice compromise, although
Up we go.
I still fully believe that the modern day story of this is pointless and crazy, and an ancient alien story is pointless and crazy. If we were just following the story of the Templars, in this
when I
case
came here
Ezio.
last-
When Ezio came here.
Yeah, I meant Ezio.
I shouldn't put you through all this. It's not right.
Hey, all joking aside, I'm having the time of my life.
And none of this was
Just focus on
in
where
the
you're
previous
going, okay?
game, by the way. This whole tunnel. It's getting added in retroactively. Retconned into the game. I like that he has this light on him. But I am certainly looking for more smoothness and less visual glitches in the same sentence, which are slightly contradictory things. It would have been kind of silly and sad, but if I wasn't able to finish that cannon section, I would have just had to rage quit this game, honestly. Let's see. Graphics, quality, shadow quality, reflection quality, character question, post effects. We can try that.
When did this become my job?
If I pulled all the levers, then what would be left for you?
Nothing.
Nice try.
Ready?
See, that's sort of how I meant
Found
you
a
should go do something like that, but she should have been laying on the ground ready to roll on the count of 3.
Something's open.
Alright. Part of the smoothness is the actual game. Part of the smoothness is the camera speed.
I'm stuck over here, but I can see a lever across the water.
Let's
Great.
see.
Ezio gets a bath with Katerina Sforza, and I get a swim in a toilet.
Let's see if we can adjust this. I'm sorry to sit here and do this, but X look sensitivity, Y sensitivity. Here, let's see if we could turn this up to 10 and make a really sensitive. I think that probably is what I'm looking for. But also I still think there might be some engine problems here. What I don't want to do is have it too sensitive, and so this is probably too much. I should put it down. I'm gonna do a lot of this, aren't I? Let's put it down to 8. Just to smooth it out. I could make it really slow, and that would smooth it, but it would also make it very annoying.
I've got this one.
He's using his hidden blade to hold a chain down.
There's another lever up ahead. Come over here.
And so you almost can see where this would turn into a potentially co-op game. And they never went that way with this series. Am I supposed to do something or just swim?
Oh man, it's freezing.
Stop whining.
It's easy for you to say. You aren't swimming in medieval toxic waste. Ugh.
So I was supposed to just swim and then climb up here. That wasn't
terrible.
Completely
You're
obvious.
exaggerating.
Alright, and now we climb up here. Now,
Remember, this is the time of your life.
Yeah.
as far as a beginning section of the game, remember we already had some climbing tutorials before this. So this is actually just a first level.
Ready?
Go for it.
Now it said hold any button, and I only pushed it.
Okay, release it.
How come you don't have to get wet?
Because you're here.
charming.
Aren't I?
They're kind of desperately doing this just to have Desmond and I don't even remember what her name is get to know each other and talk to each other. They're supposed to have sort of this nice relationship since she saved him, but honestly, since you've been in the Animus for most of the games, you really haven't had that many conversations with her.
I've got you.
Thanks.
Not enough to really have any kind of real relationship with her.
We are on the other side! Hurry!
I'm just chasing ghosts.
Cazzo!
And this was a bridge.
Great, the bridge is out. We can't jump this.
I have an idea. You'll have to help me. Stand at the edge and get ready.
Am I really gonna fling her in the air?
Ready?
Yeah, I guess I am. There's no reason why the gold there should be glowing, by the way.
Let me see.
That's
You
not
go
how
on
this
ahead.
game works.
I'll just stay here to die in the dark with the bats.
In fact, none of the things I've been working with should have been glowing, because I don't have eagle vision on.
Jump across.
Nice work.
The bats will be disappointed.
Like,
For now.
they should be glowing now. They shouldn't be glowing here. See, that's just a jump. It's not like the system in Assassin's Creed makes that any more difficult. Just hold down the right trigger, press the A button, run forward.
Soldati, I have found an entrance.
And
You'd think these stairs would lead somewhere.
But they don't.
Well, life is full of disappointments.
interesting. Seems like the video game programmers are more interested in making jokes than making a game there. Maybe there was some point to that. Maybe they had an argument at some point with the designers, with another team of designers saying that there needs to be a way that people could have actually gotten there. Now that doesn't make any sense, because this would have been the way you could have gotten there. Those stairs really do play no part. Alright. I guess I was supposed to do something
I'll
like
wait here.
that.
Good. Let me just go and get that bridge down for you.
I did the last one.
And I'm sure that will be your last one.
Haha, very funny.
So I needed to crawl around here, doing a little more tutorializing, showing ways you can connect, move. What's funny though is
Thank you, Desmond.
the Assassin's Creed series kind of suffers early on for having a lack of abilities. We saw it in the previous time when they added the ability to jump a little bit further when climbing something, and even here, just Desmond is not as smooth moving as I feel like an assassin should. Now the entire series is going to have that problem
Now
though.
it's my turn to keep the score.
Because
There.
if you're playing
Nice.
Assassin's Creed 6,
It's a start.
7, 8, which they're probably around to that number,
Do your magic.
well, one of those numbers, then that game ideally, most certainly, should run smoother and have way more abilities. And if that's not the case, then you've got even worse problems of a stagnant game series. I am having a little bit of a problem with this camera system. It could use some work. Here I'm trying to move as fast as I know how to, and you can see he's kind of slow, whereas eventually, I think by 4, they've got it pretty well down to science as far as movability.
Up you go.
And 4 is the latest Assassin's Creed game I've even played. So
Thanks.
the later ones,
We make a good team.
once patched of their bugs, should work even better. I know Black Flag in particular was very popular, and that was the one after 4.
Desmond, let's go. I can see the sanctuary.
Finally. So remember, all of that added in. And here we're just in blackness again. Because instead of the load sequences that you would normally see in the Animus, it has to just be blackness, doesn't it? And the load sequences shouldn't exist at all. It's tells of a poor engine, considering how much newer my computer is. It's still taking time to load.
He looks so old. Ezio must have come back here way after the attack. But why?
Desmond!
Right. Let's open that door.
So he never put the Altair's armor back. We have each of the stones that we collected in the previous game that opened up this Altair thing, and canonically that is always to happen. So that's how the story would have started even if I hadn't played the previous game. But they never fix this place up, which just seems odd. Particularly considering this game and the next game, because it's not like Ezio couldn't have.
Sight you learned from Altair.
And tutorializing on Eagle Vision.
There's something here.
1419, 1420.
Can you open the damn bookcase, Desmond?
And 1421.
You guys did it.
About bloody time. What's that?
Looks like something Ezio left behind. There are numbers underneath it. 14.
I'm not sure how you write those numbers.
1420.
They never explained that.
1421.
It was blood before.
Maybe you should lie down for a bit.
No, it's all right. I'm fine.
Whoa, they really built this place to last. No signs of structural damage, no cell signal either. Should be safe to set up. Let's get the Animus down there.
And so they're gonna put the Animus in the chamber and have me use that chamber to search more memories.
Good here. Sean, hide the van in town and make sure you aren't followed.
What is that smell?
It's my clothes.
They smell like you swam through a sewer.
It was Lucy's idea.
Wait a second, guys. We need power down here. There's a line running nearby I can hook into, but the wattage is weak.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Anything else you two would like? You know, some caviar perhaps? Maybe you'd like me to knit you a lovely hat? No? Fine, follow me.
Why there would be any electricity anywhere near this place when it looks like this place has been completely abandoned for so long, and look at all the work that's been done here. They would have taken days to do this much setup between the 4 of them. Hey. You've got all these generators, and then you've got these lights, but why would any of these lights be electric? I don't know which way to go. He just kind of ran off without me. I guess somebody did revitalize this place as, I don't know, a tourist trap or something. So this mostly is just reskinning the area that previously existed. The weird thing is, I don't know where to go, what to do. Let's see. So, like, hit start, you don't get that animus menu when you're like this. Yeah, this city apparently has people in it, and you just don't see any of them. And we can't leave by that gate. This gate is closed to cars after 12 a.m. to ensure tranquility of our town. Wow, what a weird rule, but man, can you even call this a town by today's standards? I believe there was a DLC section, like right down that way. Some of this modeling in some of the areas were actually 3D scanned or something close to it. No, this was the DLC section. So I can't do anything with that right now. Here's the modern equivalent of the lifts. Clearly they had plans, but this one building has been destroyed. Clearly they had plans to have Assassin's Creed in modern time. I desperately need, like, something though. I'm hitting every single button, and since I didn't pay enough attention, and there's no path telling me where to go, I'm totally lost. And this is partially the game's fault, totally, because he should have said something like, follow me this way, not wandered away really easily. And this is kind of dumb. I can't just... They fixed it? Who fixed that? In the meantime... Okay, here he is. Oh my goodness. It was right outside the door.
Right, look around Monteriggioni for circuit boxes. Rebecca's little doodahs, they'll reroute small amounts of electricity to the power line underneath the villa. Don't ask me how they work. If I understood that, I wouldn't be the fella hiding the van.
Interesting idea. Now, this is just not how electricity works at all, and is total gibberish, but... I tell you, in my quest for smoothness, I don't know what's more I could do. I could probably turn down shadow and reflection quality to see if the game runs any smoother. We might as well try it. Like, it's pretty good, but it still feels a little low, just low number of frames, and it might just be because there's a locked frame rate, and I'm not the type of person that even really cares. So, like, medium quality and then shadow quality, we'll turn that all the way down, and we'll just turn this to none. And let's see what the game even looks like there. Because that might be a very easy thing to turn off with very little penalty visually. Just to turn off reflections and shadows. And it does feel smoother now. Maybe I'm just feeling the placebo effect. That's certainly a possibility. But I think the idea here is to just continuously follow these lines. But where would the fun in that be? Now, ideally, I suppose when doing this, you would change what lights up here. So, theoretically, good video game programming would have this not light up, and we can see it isn't lighting up. So, now if we see something else lighting up, like over there, we can just make a mad dash for it. Of course, this isn't how wire works. Even though we have like smart meters nowadays in the United States and all of that, for the most part,
just in time,
the backbone of the grid, the power grid, is unregulated. It's metered, but you can just draw as much as you want.
Workaholics.
Let's get started.
This guy, he kind of never needed to be in the series. They had no plans for him, and they did nothing with him, practically. And he just kind of gives information that you don't ever want. She's the romantic interest. She, to some, might be a secondary romantic interest, but she's also our hacker, computer nerd, and she could have given information also. It could have been just her and her, or better yet, why not just combine her into her, and then you have your lead romantic interest who saved you from the Animus, who worked on the Animus, thus is smart enough to run the Animus anyways, and we don't even need her. So both these characters aren't needed, really, are they? Man, I still don't feel smooth. It's probably a texture load thing. Let's see. This isn't the best place in the world to do this, but we'll try. What if we did, instead of 8, 1? Like the lowest look sensitivity. This should provide an incredibly smooth spin, but gee, that look sensitivity doesn't look like it feels like it doesn't really do too much. It seems to be like 1 through 10, but the 1 through 10 is on a 100-point scale, so it's 59 through it's 50 through 59 or 60, so you're still right in that mushy middle. Let's see, what else can we turn off? Just environmental quality down to 1. The fact that I can adjust all of these things right here. Did that say that would work, or did that say... See, that feels smoother. And that probably isn't just because of that. So let's turn environmental quality back up to 3. we'll turn it to 5. And then turn this back up to 5. And then turn this back up to high. And turn this on. Let's just leave that off for now. I think the environmental quality is the issue. Let's start talking to these guys.
Do you have any clue about those numbers under the drawing?
1419, 1420, 1421. Maybe something to do with the 100 Years' War. Or wait, in 1419, Pope Martin V arrived in Florence, right? He left for Rome in 1420, and that was the same year Brunelleschi began building the Duomo. And in 1421... yeah, I'll have to do some more research, I think.
See, as a character who's supposed to be this great historian, he's not really helpful, and frankly, anybody with a database, historical database, which we already know they have, could just look up those dates and give that same information.
So, what do you think of Monteriggioni?
This is not Monteriggioni. Monteriggioni existed in the Renaissance. Ask me how the town was in 1554 when it was seized by Florence, and I'll tell you.
Huh. I figured you'd like it nowadays. Seems not to have changed much.
Exactly. History is the study of change. Change is life. When things become static, it means they're dead. You know I love talking about this stuff, Desmond, but we have work to do now.
So that means I've exhausted the conversation with him.
What are we gonna do about Abstergo?
The cutscenes are looking better.
As soon as we find the apple, I get in contact with our other teams in Europe, but as far as Italy goes, we're on our own.
It'd be nice to have some help from above.
Our top assassins are busy gathering info about the Templar satellite launch. We've pinpointed several possible facilities in the US, China, and Russia, but there are no clear leads yet.
So what's interesting here to point out, and I forgot to mention it, is apparently we've played the entire Assassin's Creed series in Italy, and they never bothered to tell us at all. Like, I could have sworn we were somewhere in the US just by everybody seeming to be from the US except for him, who's kind of British, but I figured he had expatriated. If we were in Italy, you would assume at least one person would speak more Italian, or possibly be Italian. I mean, maybe she's Italian, and the other two are the foreigners, including myself. And I assume he was just kidnapped and taken to Italy. I think he's from like Nebraska or someplace. He says
Get me
somewhere.
Animus, Desmond.
What are the other teams doing?
Combating Abstergo's search for pieces of Eden.
Look, her lips aren't
As far
moving.
as I know, Abstergo has no clue about the temples and Ezio's apple. We might actually be ahead for once.
So what just happened there? Their lips have been moving before, and yet the game just kind of broke. This is one of the speculations on how Mass Effect Andromeda messes up, is that there's underlying systems that are designed to make actions and like your lips moving and facial expressions and such, and those systems are just so badly bugged up that instead of doing what it's supposed to do, it just gives cold default stares.
You seem focused.
I've been busy patching new systems into Baby here.
See,
It's
her
only gonna
lips are
get better.
moving.
Is Desmond going to be able to relive
His
memories
lips are
this
moving.
time?
Matter of fact, he will.
He's already been able to do that. I think that was a joke.
Always a tech geek?
Nah, I was into sports, but then I broke my leg and started playing with computers. Who knew that coding could be just as exhilarating as strapping on a board and dropping out of a helicopter?
Just FYI, you might want to get your adrenal glands checked. You know? Because that is not normal.
And see, this will probably just tell me I've exhausted all the conversations. So 6
We'll
conversations
talk later.
in total could have been had, or you could have just jumped into the game and continued playing, which is probably the right move.
As you may have noticed in the van, I've made some improvements to the Animus, and I've also patched in a new VR training program. Here you can show off all those flashy moves you picked up from your ancestors. Let me open one of the missions.
In 45 seconds, get the longest kill streak possible. Now the problem with this fighting system, and you just saw it, is the idea of if they grab you, it puts this incredible slowdown process in the whole thing, and they will do that a lot. Even if I can counter, there's not really the greatest of counters.
You can access more VR missions through the Animus desktop. As you complete training sessions, I'll add additional challenges.
Now,
to stop your subconscious from rejecting Ezio's later memories, you're gonna have to live them in the order his genome recorded them. Highlight sequence 2 for me, Desmond.
This is funny that they're putting us through the menu. And it did that without me pushing a button.
By accessing this menu, you can relive it as many times as you want.
But what if there are memories I just want to forget?
Desmond, this is very important. If you need to take a break, log out of the Animus. You can leave the machine whenever you like.
I'm all set to go. Don't worry.
One last thing. As you raise your synchronization by executing events the way Ezio lived them, you might even discover some repressed memories. Okay, let's get started. Select the first memory.
That's an odd kind of double way of
Desmond,
introducing the idea of repressed memories from 2 different characters.
I seem to have discovered a remarkable coincidence. The codes correspond perfectly with coordinates inside the Animus. I've tagged the landmarks, pinpointed by the coordinates with eye icons in the database. Now, odds are you won't find anything there, but, well, who knows?
So now they're telling you directly to go looking for secret eye icons, Illuminati eyes icons that they've put into the memories themselves instead of Subject 16 putting it in.
Nowhere, Messere. A man left you here.
Did he say anything?
Only this. You are to meet Messer Machiavelli in front of the Mausoleo di Augusto. Let me help you get dressed.
The same man who brought me here gave me these clothes?
Si, Messere.
He's just gonna do that and she's not gonna freak out? She knows what that is, apparently. Was she playing with it earlier? January 1500.
Roma.
Yes, or what is left of it since the Borgia came to power.
And the Mausoleo?
Unfortunately, you cannot see it from here.
How about from the top of that church?
Yes, but the stairs up are closed.
That should not be a problem. Vi ringrazio di tutto quello che avete fatto per me, buona donna. Addio.
Now the problem with that is he said that really long sentence in Italian and then the subtitles split between 2 subtitles to translate it in parentheses, so you couldn't have read it even if you had tried. Find a doctor to heal your wounds from the villa attack. Full synchronization, do not die. So, we have a new database. We can press forward to see our current objective. A lot of menu stuff going on here that you kind of don't want in your game, and yet they're pretty happy to have it in your game. These guys seem to be walking backwards for some reason. So Rome is a much larger area than what we've seen before. That being said, I think it kind of ends up being the only major area instead of previously having 3 large medium-sized areas.
Someone your age cannot recover from a wound like this with medicine. Here is something to dull the pain. You will heal over time.
Grazie.
4 out of 5 doctors would suggest leeches, but they have not proven effective against such things. However, I can recommend several good colleagues around the city. Do you need anything else?
And so you're just looking at the eyes of the doctors. So, select this, and you can hit it with A, I think. Nope, you can't use it in the menu. All you can do is equip it. No, you did use it. Interesting. So you just right bump and then highlight it and then release the right bump. Apparently.
Someone my age. Imbecile.
Mistranslation there, in my opinion. That's... Imbecile sounds more like imbecile to me than it does jerk. Frankly, I think the phrase jerk is kind of a modern one. So every place we go, I could possibly talk to this guy or bribe him. Something like that. See, and I don't want to irritate people too much, so we'll just start here from the back.
My back.
And so you have a slight issue now because of the eyeball of wanting to see them, see everything. And here we have 1 of 10 feathers. Seems pretty collectible. Like, I can see another feather right there. As far as other feathers, I don't know. I'm also not really sure what I'd get for collecting the feathers, though. So, like, there's another one. It's like, so they may very well just tell me that I have to collect the first 10, but then it'll probably open up to 100 plus. Take a look all around here. I think all of this is accessible. It's not like a made-up section. Let's see. This is where it feels sluggish, though. This is actually the perfect time to fiddle with the settings as we're here. So, multi-sampling off, environmental quality 3. That would be medium. Let's apply those changes. I think it is just nothing's gonna really fix it. It's a problem. And then I really don't want to turn down the environmental quality that much. Also, I don't want to turn any of this stuff off. Maybe we could go texture quality. I mean, let's just go crazy. Let's turn everything down to the lowest it can be. Character quality is at 5. Reflection quality is off. This is at 1080p. What would the lowest graphics look like? I still feel a little sluggish when I spin like this. And frankly, the game doesn't look any different to me. Like, I can't tell a difference at all. That Coliseum still looks pretty good. It might very well be that there's a resolution issue. It might very well be it's just because of the controls of everything. And since that's where it ends, I think I'll just leave everything at high. Everything that I think is good enough. Post effects. We'll turn that back on. And let's turn it on for a second, and then did any of that apply? I don't think it did. Nope. We'll turn it on, and then I might turn post effects off. I'm doing a lot of fiddling here instead of playing the game, I know, but I actually want to experience this game without in the best possible version of it, and frankly, that does look better. And the amount of sluggishness when I do it like this is not significantly more than when I had all the settings turned off, which more implies that it is a sensitivity issue. But maybe if I turned it down to 3. The making the sensitivity lower doesn't really fix much, particularly if you go all the way on the right stick. It's still spinning way too fast. All it seems to do is it seems to take a dead zone from it being very central and not moving at all to a faster time here. And so in actual gameplay, that's bad when in looking around. Let's see, control. Maybe there is something. Just set that back to 8. Under general, action camera frequency is, I assume that's just some automated action camera thing. Heads up display. No. And then we've already looked at graphics. This is something to think about. Force it down to 30 hertz. I don't know why they call it 30 hertz, but I'd much rather so I record at 60 frames per second, but I'd much rather if the engine just runs better at 30 frames per second, which it might. Maybe that's the better move. The thing that often happens is those settings are just made up based on whatever your video card can handle, and maybe by going into a 30 frames per second movement we could have a better experience. We'll have to find out next time. Yep. So we've made it now 2 hours into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and we haven't done a lot. We've done a lot of fiddling with settings, and this is kind of an issue with Assassin's Creed. It's also just an issue with video games in general, is that if they don't run perfectly out of the box, that console version makes a lot more sense. At least it made a lot more sense until they introduced things like the PS4 Pro and having Pro modes for games. So then you have to do some research and figure out whether you want to run it on a base PS4 or a PS4 Pro, or if you want to play it on PS4 Pro with the Pro mode disabled, or whether you want to play it in 4K mode or 1080p mode. Of course, this has always been a problem with PC games. As far as the story, we haven't really got anywhere or done anything. Anyways, though, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.